Welcome, everyone, to NASPA Tonight. This is the third day of Nationals complete. We're done 21 rounds, and this episode is dedicated to Nigel Richards and his quest to win. And we have a special guest today, Mack Meller. He's a crowd favorite to win Nationals. We all know it. Mack, what do you think Nigel's odds are to win Nationals right now?
Well, I have to say I'm a little biased at this point, given what happened in my game with Nigel. A lot of you in the audience might have seen it was a very tight game all the way through. We both played, I feel like, very well throughout the game. And then later on, there's an open NO sitting towards the bottom of the board, and he plays no wither with a blank W from the NO for 94, I believe. And I did manage to bingo back with non-elite, but he ended up winning in the end game, playing optimally, as Nigel always does in the end game, of course. So not much I can say other than a great find and just all around. Clearly, that's why he's the best player in the world. And I think at this point, I mean, he's up, a game and a half, I think, on the field. So yeah. There's still 10 games to go. A lot could still happen, but I see no reason to believe Nigel's going to be stopped at this point. But time will tell.
So, super exciting. Nigel is obviously contesting for his 6th North American title. I want to welcome everybody to the show. This is NASPA Tonight. Jackson Smylie, Josh Greenway, and our special guest, Mack Meller, who's already run down his exciting game with Nigel Richards. You know, guys, I went up to Nigel Richards 3 times today to ask him for an interview. I just kept pestering him, but it didn't work. Is that shocking?
See, I mean, what I found is Nigel loves talking about biking. He loves talking about anything besides Scrabble. So I think what we should do is, after he wins Nationals, we're going to get him on and talk about nothing to do with Scrabble. We'll talk about biking, and that's pretty much, I think, all he does besides Scrabble. So I think that would be a good interview. I think Nigel would be great on the show. Mack, hopefully you can beat him in the rest of the games, and then we'll have you on the show, and I know you're a willing interview, so that'll be great. What is your record, Mack?
Right now I'm 13-9, I believe, sitting somewhere between 8th and 10th, when a tie for a lot of people, including Jackson, with for spread. So there's still 10 games to go. So definitely a lot could still happen. And besides the top place, there's going to be a lot of people fighting for the top 10 and for the cash places in some order. So it should be an exciting last 2 days.
And I would just like to apologize to everyone for missing yesterday's episode of NASPA Tonight. I had one of those 1 in 6 days in Scrabble where the only cure is 1 beer and then 3 more beers after that. So I was off doing my own thing, being sad for being 1 in 6, but now I'm back in it, and I'm now 13-8 along with Mack Meller. So I'm going to pass it over to Josh, who's going to tell you what's going to happen on the show tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what's great about NASPA Tonight, especially coming from Nationals, is we've got such talented additional contributors here. We've got a whole team covering all the action at Nationals. So Jackson needed a little time away. We picked it right up. We had Mike Gincel for the Gincel. Step right into the co-host off the top of the show, and Hannah did a great job as well interviewing. Who did Hannah interview yesterday, Mike? Musical, Dan Stock, and Josh Jr. So that was super exciting. So tonight, as Jackson promoted there, we're going to be talking with, well, we started to talk with Mack. I don't know if we're going to ask Mack any more questions, but it's exciting to have Mack on the show. No question. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move to a standings update, because we know as we close in on to our last 10 games that people want to know what's happening. Then Hannah is going to be talking with Peter from Merriam-Webster, and I know that's going to be a great interview. And then I'm going to preview the Twitch stream that we're doing, sitting down with Robin Pollock Daniel. So it's going to be an exciting show. Mack, have you ever watched NASPA Tonight, live or recorded?
I have a couple times. Not too many times, but I definitely have seen it a few times. It's always a lot of fun to watch.
Very good. And for those of you, if this is your first time viewing or you haven't viewed it, you can watch back episodes on the NASPA YouTube page. They all go up there. If you can like and subscribe that page, we're always throwing more and more content on there. In particular, the stream this year. We're going to be doing the stream live on Twitch. But then we're going to throw those games up onto YouTube almost immediately after nationals, maybe even some of them after the first day of streaming. So that's a channel that we're trying to develop. So the way you find it is go to YouTube and search for NASPA Scrabble. Now, Jackson, do you have anything else to say before we move on to the next segment?
I just want to say, tonight we have Matt Graham's live comedy show at National. So if you're in Buffalo watching this, I think you should check out Matt Graham's comedy tonight because it's good to blow off all of your losses with a laugh and a cry. Have you guys ever seen Matt Graham's show? I've never seen it myself. I'm super excited to see it. I feel like he'll be a really funny comic. Mac, have you seen him before?
I have not, but I was going to say, in addition to being good to blow off your losses, I guess it's good to blow off all your wins, right?
7-0, man.
Wait, you were 7-0?
I was 7-0 today. I was 6-8 yesterday, and now I'm 13-8. So you can do the math.
My God. So hold on, just a second. So you guys are both 13-8. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what we're saying. So that means this is a rivalry interview right now. I'm getting Mac on here just to learn his game better and just to see exactly how I can capitalize on his weaknesses, if there are any, if we end up playing tomorrow. I'm super excited that everything is heating up for Nationals. Tomorrow is the first day of the live stream. As Josh mentioned earlier, we have Rashad coming in, and we're going to have 10 games live streamed along with Robin Pollock Daniel and Conrad Bassett-Bouchard giving us our color commentary. I'm super excited to watch the games afterwards. So what do you say we get Hannah on?
No, we're not going to Hannah. Hold on. We're not going to Hannah. We're going to Mike for a standings update. I have a final question for Mac. Mac, both you and Jackson are 13-8. Should you guys be paired first thing in the morning? Are you going to slice and dice this guy? What's the deal?
Well, it's hard to know with the pairing. So they've started doing repeats. Jackson and I have already played once this tournament. I won narrowly towards the end. But we have already played. That being said, I've already had 2 repeats myself, so it's very hard to know how they're going to pair. There's a lot of other players at 13-8 or within a game or two who I haven't played yet, so it's very hard to know. As far as I know, they pair 2 games in advance, so maybe later tonight we'll be able to check and find out. But either way, it should be exciting.
I will say, if we do play, I will take no precaution. Even though you're a friend of mine, I am going to try as hard as I can to win, and I'm sure you'll do the same. And for all of you word lovers out there, I'm just going to give a quick quiz. In the game I played with Mac earlier in this tournament, the reason I lost is because I couldn't find a bingo through an E. My rack was DORTUY blank, and it plays through an E with one word. So if you can find that word, please comment it. Please don't use Ziziva. Please don't cheat. If you can find the one word in DORTUY blank through an E, type it out in the comments. Give us your best shot.
Okay, we're going to move on to the standings update. I just want to shout out to Zev Kaufman, who says, great comeback, Jackson. All right, kids, get out of here. We're going to bring in Mike, and we're going to talk a little standings. Come on in, Mike.
Hello, NASPA Tonight.
Now, Mike, I know you were excited to get the show moving. What are your dinner plans tonight?
Lots and lots of barbecue. So much barbecue, they're going to roll me back to the Hyatt Regency. Dinosaur Barbecue is of course, a night staple in Buffalo, and I don't want to keep my party waiting. I don't want to let the NASPA Tonight fans down, all tens and tens of them out there on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Twitch and Instagram. So definitely excited for tonight, but I'm also excited to give you some results and to see what's going on because we have a lot of shakeups, especially in the lower divisions.
That's a fantastic summary, and anybody who's watching who's here in Buffalo, you got to check out Dinosaur Barbecue. It's
not spawns.
Not spawns.
Should be though.
But it's a real
It's delicious.
it's a Scrabble tradition, right?
It's a Scrabble tradition. There's so many Scrabble traditions, but definitely one of them is Dinosaur Barbecue and, of course, Anchor Bar, home of the world-famous Buffalo Wings.
That's true. Okay, let's move on to the standings. Where are we going to start tonight, Mike?
Let's start with...
You read.
Okay.
I'll hold the mic.
Thank you.
That way I can get one
Hi.
or two words in edgewise.
That's a really funny story. So we're going to start with... we'll start with Division 4 tonight because we have an upset. Cherish is no longer in first place.
What?
Cherish had a 3-4 day. She lost her last game by 177 to the first place person right now, Evan Yurko, who is 17-4 plus 968. I felt so bad. I'm like, Cherish, what happened? And she's in good spirits. I know she is, and I know she's going to do well. We have 10 games left, and she's only 1 game behind. She has almost double Evan's spread. Cherish is in second with 16-5 plus 16-13. So Evan is going to have to be very careful for tomorrow to toe the line and stay one game above Cherish. Otherwise, he is in trouble on spread alone.
Well, I just want to give a little. This is a little preview. We may get Cherish on this show.
Oh my goodness, she is such a sweetheart. We played together in New Orleans. We actually tied. Like I said earlier, I think on one of the broadcasts. She is a sweetheart. She's very good. I'm very happy for her. Of course, biases, but I'm very happy for her. I think she'd be a great winner. And I think Evan's absolutely fantastic too. And there are two young ones going at it for the title. There's a couple 15-6s in there, but I think Lucy McFall still in third at 15-6 plus 835.
Okay, well, let's move on to Division 3, right? That's where we're going to go.
We have Charlie Alexander, who is up 2 games on the field, 17-4 plus 597. However, Charlie has very small spread because Bruce Kramer is at 15-6, but plus 1456, nearly 3 times his spread. So Charlie's going to want to hold on to that lead, or Bruce will take it, or Matthew Zelzenik, who is 15-6 plus 1070.
And we're back. Okay. So did we miss all of the amazing updates I just offered?
I think what we've missed is we missed some of Mike's excellent standings coverage, and I think we missed the introduction. So this is Hannah Lieberman. She's here to tell you all the fun stuff to do here at Nationals. Why don't you start with the basics, and then we're going to go on to a really cool interview that you're going to do with Peter from Merriam-Webster.
Great. Okay, the basics. Okay, there is a town hall meeting tonight. That's great for learning all things updates about NASPA, about Nationals, kind of what's going on organizationally. That's going to be at 8:30. It's tonight in rooms 106B and C. That's downstairs from the playing room if you're here with us in Buffalo. There's also a player in Division 1, I believe, Matt Graham. He is doing a comedy show tonight, and it's called There's No I in Gingivitis. And that's tonight at 8 p.m. at Babeville, which is, I believe, a theater or a club. It's on Delaware Avenue. I believe you can ask other players for the info. That is sure to be a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the highlights at Nationals. Matt Graham is an expert level player, but he's also a fantastic comedian. He was on, I believe he was a writer for, I think for a short time for Saturday Night Live, and also maybe for Conan O'Brien. Maybe someone will correct me in the comments, but he's been a professional comedy writer, and his humor is very kind of highbrow and will pull in Scrabble. I find him, when I've seen clips of him online, like hilarious, and so I think everybody should go out and see that show.
Absolutely. I mean, that's goals. I'm kind of sad to hear someone has already done the whole Scrabble comedy thing. Guess I'm not unique anymore.
Now, you talked about that you've done stand-up in the past. This is part of your quiver of many skills, right?
Stop. Well, yes,
Tell us about it.
I did. I've done stand-up before. I actually just graduated from college where I double majored in theater and political science, and I wrote a one-woman show as my thesis. Well, and I did a research paper on solo theatrical performance in the American theater canon. But you don't have to read that. But you can watch the one-woman show if you want on YouTube. Google Hysterical Hannah Lieberman. That was the name of the show. Because it's about my ovaries. You get it. You'll get it when you watch the show. I love a good pun. Okay. Well, I'd love to bring on our guest, if you're ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm ready to get out of here.
Okay, get out of here.
Here are my suggestions. One, we're going to bring see how you're kind of in the middle of the screen? We want to get you to the left.
Scooch me over.
And then Peter over there. And the second thing is, my suggestion is
hold that mic.
Like, rather than passing it back and forth.
I am on it. Okay. I'm sure. Ooh.
Just pull it over. Like, yeah,
almost had like
good.
a roll moment. Okay. So our guest is Peter, and your title is Editor at Large for Merriam-Webster. Okay, tell us, how long have you been coming to Nationals representing Merriam-Webster?
I think this is maybe 10 years. Yeah.
And what is your role exactly here? Just kind of representative?
Yeah, the role is the same for editor-at-large generally, which is sort of diplomacy. You know, to come here to connect with Scrabble players, but also with NASPA, because they set the rules for the tournaments, and they also help pick the words for the dictionary. And of course, we connect with Hasbro. There's sort of a triangle of in Scrabble, Merriam-Webster, NASPA, and Hasbro. And so that piece of it, it's important to know them, all the parts, but also to know all the people. And so I come to really see the people, the players, to watch the tournament. I'm not a Scrabble player myself, but I've learned a lot, and I love all of the word lovers who are here.
A diplomatic answer from a diplomatic man. Okay, so what would you say? You were telling me earlier you get some frequent requests for adding words. What is the oddest request you've gotten in the last, let's say, year?
Oh my gosh! I mean, there's a lot of requests. People have their favorite words, pet words, that maybe they're just used in their family or in their town or in their profession. And so they tend to be very specialized words and are often words that I've never even heard of. And in Scrabble, it's different. The words that we get requests for are words people want to play on the board, that they had the letters for and couldn't play. Maybe the most famous of these is ew, spelled E-W, which I'm pleased to say is coming soon to a Scrabble board near you, because it will be playable after September when it is added to the new edition of the Scrabble Dictionary. So we do get new words and new words requests, but a lot of them, they're really, really specific, again, for a profession or for a game.
No, EU is a big old development. EW, I mean, yeah, that is a huge development. You heard it here first, folks. Probably not, but still, I heard it here first, and that's exciting. Okay, so you just got back from Brazil. You're about to go all over Europe. Tell us what you were doing there.
Again, it's sort of this role of dictionary ambassador. There's no. It's that the fact is, we all use the dictionary. Usually when we use the dictionary, it's a private thing. You need to check something, you look a word up. But if you're an educator, especially if you're a teacher of English as a non-native language, English as a second language, you have the dictionary, the English monolingual dictionary has a very important role in your classroom, but also for the homework of your students, for this personal study. And also really, when I meet teachers abroad, I ask them if they're the kinds of people who read the dictionary, and they always raise their hands. They always say, yes, I'm that kind of person. Well, I was that kind of person. You know, Scrabble players are that kind of person. We're all kind of language word nerds. And so we have a dictionary at Merriam-Webster for non-native speakers. We call it the Learner's Dictionary. And it's written especially for them. It's different. It's the definitions are written in a special way with kind of plain language definitions. We use many more example sentences. And my favorite part is that we have all of the idioms in English that may not be self-explanatory. A word, something we would take for granted, like a piece of cake or hold your horses. But imagine learning English and knowing what cake means and not understanding what piece of cake means. You know, so explaining all of that is really teaching the culture as well as the language. And so I love going to meet teachers at these conferences, usually for English teachers, and they're used to getting teacher training from other educators, from textbook authors. I give them a moment to basically not just be English language teachers, but to be English language lovers, and to just explore the dictionary, to hear how the dictionary was made, and then finally to use the dictionary as a textbook for vocabulary, not just as a reference book, but as something that they can use in the classroom, but also that they can kind of teach their students to use.
Awesome. That sounds innovative and exciting, and you get to travel around the world. That's not too shabby a job either. So you also helped write this dictionary, right? So what is that process like? Where do you begin? What is the first step?
This is, I mean, how long do we have? But writing, this was an interesting project because it was a dictionary written from scratch. Most dictionaries that we publish and that are published are dictionaries that are based on a previous edition. You take what was existing and you revise it. In this case, we decided to write this dictionary from scratch because the assumptions made for native speakers within the definitions of our existing dictionaries were too great. They were too numerous. We make too many assumptions. A basic phrase like, I'm thinking of the definition of horse, which says something like an herbivorous ungulate mammal. And so Yeah, and that's first of all, those are hard technical words, but it also, in that definition, it uses the phrase beast of burden, which is itself an idiom. So we change that definition and say something simpler, like a large animal that is used for riding and pulling and carrying things. All those words individually are simple words, and so that you can get to the meaning without being too scientific and too complicated. That's the first thing. So we decided to go at this, and if you're in for a dime, you're in for a dollar. Our whole staff, 30, 40 editors, worked for 5 or 6 years, and we break it up by different categories. Alphabetically is often how it works, and then certain words, they're specialized terms, like, for example, the words of religion or the words for mathematics or music. Those are all technical things, so they might all go to one person who has a special knowledge for that kind of word, and then our best linguists will work on the hard words, and by that I mean not the long words that are complicated, but the short, but the short words like take or be or set. Those are the hardest ones to define for people who didn't grow up speaking English. So again, these little teams of editors all working in parallel toward that final goal of 100,000 words. The book is this thick. It's online for free at learnersdictionary.com. It's a great book.
Well, that is just super inclusive and awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show. And I think we all watching agree that if we could, we'd ask you a gazillion more questions. But we are so glad to have you and Merriam-Webster here at Scrabble Nationals. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. It's a treat to be here, as always.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to bring it back now. I think we're going to have a very special interview coming up, so stay tuned.
Thanks very much, Peter. That was fantastic. And I am pleased to welcome for our feature interview the one, the only Robin Pollock Daniel. Robin, how are you?
I'm super tired, thanks. 3 days of excitement, 3 days of adrenaline, 3 days of interviews. I couldn't be happier.
That is amazing, and you haven't even started the commentary yet.
I haven't even started. You know what? I'm so used to coming to Nationals every year for 5 days. I'm so used to doing commentary at Worlds for 5 days. I usually come with my son who works and does data entry. This year I came alone, but I still thought I should come for 5 days. So then I realized, geez, I've got nothing to do until Tuesday. What am I going to do? So you get me busy. It was okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, you were so generous to give me a ride down here to Buffalo from Toronto. That's where we both live. I was surprised to learn that you thought the stream was starting earlier, right?
Well, I was even on Scrabble Tonight last week, and if you look at it and you look at my eyes and my pupils, when someone says to me, we don't need you until Tuesday, and I went, what do you mean you don't need me until Tuesday? Okay, well, I'll find something to do. I did.
Absolutely. And that it's really that stream that we're here to talk about. This is one of the ways that people who are not able to make it here to Buffalo can really feel like they're a part of the show. We're going to be live on Twitch tomorrow morning starting right around 9 a.m., maybe just a little bit before, I'm not sure. But we're going to work that out tonight. We're going to do 7 games tomorrow and then 3 games on Tuesday as we count down the games until a North American Scrabble champion is crowned. What are you looking forward to the most?
I'll tell you what's interesting for people who don't know. Some years we do a semifinal and final format, and sometimes we do a straight through. Whoever finishes after 31 games is the winner. That's what we're doing this time. So you're going to see a variety of people. You're not always going to say this. You're not going to see the same 2 people from each grouping. We're going to be doing the North American Dictionary, which is TWL, the word list, and we're going to be doing the Collins Dictionary, which is the World Dictionary, and we're going to just kind of follow the energy. That's something that we had big discussions about. We had meetings about, and in the past we decided, should we do a clump of this dictionary and then a clump of that dictionary, or should we just do one, which I got to tell you, I speak 4 languages, but in Scrabble I speak 2 languages because I do both TWL, I do the North American Dictionary, and I do the World Dictionary, and so does my partner in crime, Conrad, I'm so tired.
Bassett Bouchard.
I always do Bouchard Bassett. Okay. So we have to go back and forth, and it's difficult. And I think it might be very difficult for people out in Twitchland to follow as well, to have to go back and forth with dictionaries. Like, why was, DI good an hour ago and now it's not good anymore? So what I'm really looking forward to is the fact that we're going to kind of follow the energy. We're going to see who's playing and do they make for a really good game to watch. And we're also going to see what place are people in. Has the tournament been decided already? Is there a big race going on? So we have a lot of flexibility this year, and I think it's going to be so good. It's going to be every year from now on to just show you the absolute best possible game in the moment. So that's what I'm really looking forward to.
That's great, and we're also going to be trying a couple of different things. There are little tricks and sort of added features that are going to be included in the stream. Some of the stuff where viewers are going to be able to be shown or pull their own definitions on particular words. We're going to be introducing tile tracking, I think, on the screen. We'll see. There's a lot of setup tonight to do.
If not on the screen, then we're Josh.
Well, yeah, no, that's a good point. You're absolutely right. That's what we're trying to do. And we're also going to be seeing some of these players come in for interviews. Now, you guys have done interviews before, but we're going to try to bring in the winner of each game in right after the game is played.
Yeah. So what I was doing actually now, I don't know if you noticed, but I just had a really long discussion with Evan Borofsky, who's in first place in his division. So I have some juicy tidbits about how his study habits have been going and what he was thinking during the last game. So I have an idea of his strategy while he's approaching the game. And then if we have an opportunity to discuss with the winner and even the loser of the game, that's just as interesting, what was going on. So we're going to be giving you really juicy details about what the players were thinking in the minute. So it'll give you very good strategy tips on how you yourself can emulate them or choose or see if they made a mistake. Now you learn not to do that kind of thing too. So it's not just getting our opinions, you're also getting the players' opinions. So it's more variety for everybody.
And we may even have some other special guests and surprises. I think I'm going to sneak on to that stream. Basically, I've volunteered some of my time to help get things organized as a way to get...
Afterwards, I mean, like once you're on, that's it. The show's over, so you better come right at the end.
Yeah, so I volunteered a bunch of times basically as a way to try to get onto Twitch. So that's going to be super exciting. We've got Conrad all lined up. Everybody's going to be there. It's going to be a big Scrabble party.
It's the place to be. I mean, get yourself a bunch of food and drinks. Sit near the bathroom so you don't have to miss anything. Because even in between games, we're going to be showing the interviews. Like last time, this has been a growing pain thing. We're a small operation. We're doing our best. But now we're learning from the past and we're trying new things. So we're going to be bringing in the interviews. There isn't going to be the dead space in between games anymore. So make sure you've got your bucket of chicken and your pizza and the Uber delivery number right at hand, Uber Eats. And set up a cot to take a little siesta in between. But it's going to be a jam-packed day full of exciting, unbelievably interesting Scrabble play.
Very good. I cannot wait. I can't wait to see you and Conrad, that magic that you guys share in terms of commentating on the games. We're going to talk with those winners. It's going to be super exciting. Now, I want to remind people, we start tomorrow morning around 9 a.m. My suggestion is we'll put the link up. I think the link will be not only on Cross Tables, but it will also be on the NASPA social media pages, so the Facebook page, the Facebook group. We're going to get that out there so people can find it. And, of course, you can go to, I think the Twitch page is GGS Live, but regardless, we're going to put up a link that will send you to the correct Twitch page. So we hope that all of you watching today will be watching tomorrow with a whole wide audience that has nothing to do with Scrabble. That's one of the most exciting parts for me.
Well, it is for me, too, because it's an opportunity not just to teach people who know about Scrabble, but who are being introduced to the game altogether. So there's going to be a variety of levels of analysis that you're going to hear tomorrow. If you don't know much about Scrabble, we're going to help you get acclimatized to the game. If you know a little bit about Scrabble, you'll understand some of the things we say. And if you know a lot about Scrabble, you're going to appreciate the high level of I don't know if the word is erudition, but, the high level of analysis that Conrad and I can bring, because both of us have a tremendous amount of experience. Conrad is a past national champion. I'm one of the top women players. And I've been playing for over 32 years. And I've done commentating for well over 10 or 15 years. So you're going to get a lot of information tomorrow, and you're also going to have a lot of fun because it's, we read your comments. We're going to be reading your comments. We're going to be interacting with you. You can ask questions. We'll answer them. It's not just about us just talking over you and on top of you, but with you. So So we want to have the conversation, and we really, really hope that you're going to join us and join in the fun and the conversation.
And it's that kind of interaction that makes these formats so exciting. Like, I'll share with you, we got a comment just now where Zev is asking, please make sure the racks are clearly visible. So, Robin, when you're setting up those cameras tonight, can you make sure that we get a nice, clear...
Not my job. He's not my job. But we will be listen, everybody who's up there has a lot of experience with annotation. And we will be giving them clear instructions that at least when they get their tiles, put them in alphabetical order so everybody can see them, and then you can do what you want. If they aren't able to be seen, we have ways of reaching out to people to let them know we can't see what the tiles are. And if you have any questions, that's your opportunity. Ask questions, and we will answer them. Now, another thing that we're going to try to do is not to use the dictionary too much, or if we do use it to look up words, we're not going to tell you. We're going to leave it as a puzzle. So, I mean, it's kind of boring, don't you think, that if you know the answer to the puzzle, like you look up the word in the dictionary and we already know what the person should play? Okay, we're going to leave. I know that's a question Zev is asking too. Hi, Zev out there. So we're going to ask people not to use dictionaries, not to give spoilers that they looked it up and they're trying to look really smart that they found the word. It's more like, oh my God, I just found this. You know, that we don't mind. But don't use the dictionary. Let's have a good time and try to figure out all the puzzles together.
Absolutely. Zev's last comment was, nice dress, Robin. You look wonderful. And speaking of quizzes, there was a quiz here. I don't think you can see the whole board, but what was interesting is it talks about, basically it asks you to figure out what word is in buffalo herds. If you combine those two words, what that stands for. The amazing thing is, as we're getting ready to go on live, Robin just guessed it like in 5 seconds.
Okay, I wouldn't use the word guess.
Solved it.
So the puzzle was given to us. What is in buffalo herds? And I think in less than 5 seconds, I said shuffleboard. And the reason why I'm able to do that is not because I've got some sort of clairvoyance or, but I study. I go every day online. Can I say the name where I study? Sure. I study on Aerolith. So Aerolith Cesar del Solar. Thank you, Cesar. And I study everything from the 3s to the 14s, yeah. And I've just ruined my reputation for life saying that out loud. But yeah, I actually find it relaxing. So yeah, I can do it in my head, and I got shuffleboard really, really quickly. And this can be you. This can be you.
That's right. And absolutely. I think we've given the stream the hype that it deserves. We're super excited for that tomorrow. And we've given a nice promo for Aerolith. So, maybe later we can just airlift and chill. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what I do. I'm going back to my hotel room. I'm propping myself up on a couple of pillows, a cool glass of water because I'm boring, and that's my evening plan. Woo!
Okay, I want to thank Robin for joining me here today, and for all her wonderful work here at the North American Scrabble Championships. I want to thank Peter. How do you say Peter's last name?
Sokolowski.
Yes. So I want to thank Peter. That was great that he was willing to come on, and he's just a fantastic guy.
He's here every year. It's such a joy to see him. I've never seen anybody rock seersucker like Peter. And this year it's the pants. Sometimes it's usually the jacket, but this year he's graduated into the pants. He's just a delight. He comes and represents Merriam-Webster. He loves our tournament every year, and he's just, we just, we're such a family. We're such a family. I don't know who's watching out there. I don't know if you're all already Scrabble people, but if you're not, why are you depriving yourself? This is, do you see this joy? I mean, am I normally a joyful person like this? I don't bop around like this, right?
I think you do pretty good.
I think I do. But look how happy I am. I've been working for 3 straight days. I'm exhausted, but I'm just so happy to be here. This could be you. This could be your life.
Absolutely. I also want to say thank you to Mack Meller, who joined us off the top, and I want to thank our regular contributors, co-host Jackson Smylie, standing czar Mike Gincel, and lifestyle guru Hannah Lieberman, who did a great job with the Peter interview. So thanks, everybody. We are going to be live one more time from the floor of the NASC tomorrow at 6:15. Hopefully we'll have one complete show without any breakage on the internet. We're continuing to work on our issues, but we're going to continue to bring the entertainment, and and we may take NASPA Tonight maybe live on the Twitch channel after all the games are done. We managed to do that last year.
I think that's a fabulous idea. So we hope to see you all there. Same time, same bat channel. I'll try to show up for 9 o'clock. I'll do my best.
Okay. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. That's the big thank you. We really appreciate you guys watching. All of you, whether it's watching live or the recorded versions, all the back episodes on NASPA Tonight show up on the NASPA YouTube page. I really encourage you to like and subscribe that channel. Go to YouTube and search NASPA Scrabble to find it. We put all the back episodes of NASPA Tonight, and we're loading it with more content. We're going to load up all of the games that are shown on Twitch very shortly after probably the tournament ends, but it'll be very quick turnaround, and that's a place that we're putting more effort in terms of pushing more video content. So anyway, that's a plug for that. I think we've done enough thank yous. We will see you very soon. All right. Good night, everybody.